This way for the Pineapple Express. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Thank you, Lord. Oh. Oh, yeah. I love that stuff. Oh, lighter. Oh, dear. There you go. Forgot my lighter. Well, that says something, perhaps. Yeah, I kind of take it, one step at a time. If I don't have a lighter, no panic. The Blessed Sacrament will still be waiting for me. In the meantime, I've got pineapple. So, what we're looking at here, then, is not a revolt. It's not a revolution. It's a rebellion. Now, a rebellion is different in form. A rebellion is something that is really led by justice. Justice is being served by rebellion in a way that revolution isn't, because revolution takes on a violent form, even a violent form of defense. And we can move beyond that. We can move beyond that very simply by adopting this electoral reform thing and making it the focus of a plan. And then the second phase of that plan would be, of course, to waken people up to the possibility, especially if we made it kind of redundant around, no, I don't believe in forcing people to vote, but, we certainly need to engage people in a practical way. I believe having none of the above on the ballot and doing it in a humane and loving way and pointing out how it relates to some of the earlier philosophical principles which were involved in democracy in its more pure form, that is the Athenian form, granting that they were advantaged people because they had slaves working for them and they didn't have to negotiate conditions, although it was important in those days for the master to look after the slave, because otherwise the slave couldn't serve him usefully. That seems to be forgotten by the modern day dominators of our style. Again, that's evidence of a psychopathic inability to empathize. An inability to empathize. I don't think it's the correct way to say it, but I think you've got the idea. In other words, it's people just don't give a monkey's for anybody for any reason at all. They're so focused on their own vital necessities. Even the desire to find something out that they know is inherently evil. How does it feel? Well, that's a sick state of mind. But regretfully, I feel that is what is represented nowadays by most of the leadership. And I don't just simply mean the leadership at the top echelon, but all the way down to the soldier in the helicopter who'd willingly, fire on civilians just for the fun of it, really, because he knows he'll be covered by the authorities that he knows he's serving, and whom would hold him as responsible in a flash if they thought it would serve their best interests. But that is the way that men are conditioned to be animals, and as long as we have that kind of aggressive, even that machine back there that's building houses, it's a twang. It's like another shot, and it is a shot, of course, because it is using explosives to project it rather than a man using a hammer and a nail. And I wonder how much progress there is there. I personally loved hammering, and believe me, I've hammered hundreds and hundreds of 3/4-inch ring nails, phosphor bronze into sheets of ply to join them together for a 49-foot boat, and I certainly got white knuckle, but I didn't get the white knuckle from hammering. I got that from using an electric plane. So I know that if we use our collective wills to uphold creation and not struggle around, trying to bring about the last days because we think somehow if we do evil, we'll see how God can do good for us. Well, that's really the seriously muddled thinking. And I think as adults, as grandparents, as senior members of community, we must make these demands on these public figures, especially Harper, because any man who portrays himself in any way, shape or form as a Christian and then legitimizes against the will of the people of his country, violence against not merely Afghans at large by being in their country without proper authority, but violence against prisoners. I mean, this is beyond belief. But it is, unfortunately, the character of our times, and therefore the character of our times must demand that something that can be described as a rebellion. And a rebellion is not by idiot people. A rebellion is a peaceful and harmonious effort to wake the government up to the fact that they have got so far out of line that they need to step down. And they need to step down before they do any more damage. And, that's so evident to me after seeing what I see from south of the border predominantly, where, the violence that is tolerated at the level of the military and at the level of the firearms people, at the level of the DEA, at the level of local police forces, and when you get down to the level of the chief of police at local areas, they have tremendous sympathy, but they're helpless in the face of these fanatics from the federal departments. We have to stop we have to end the prohibition of herb as an a priori, as a first step in bringing about harmonious relations with our government. And when they begin to consider that and consider the alternative that a rebellion does not have to be violent. In fact, a rebellion, by all accounts, is styled best after the bloodless coup, where the government, realizing that they are now not merely outnumbered but outfoxed, and not merely outfoxed but outreasoned, and not only outreasoned but are better equipped with spirit to move into a new age and leave the kind of fear that they've participated in propagandizing behind. And those are the facts of the case. And that's what I'm saying out here in the sunshine, and I didn't even smoke the herb to say them, so I guess I'm channeling as well as anybody can. The message you should see is coming from Neptune. Mr. West is merely a figure who's moving his mouth and watching insects come in here, because the green brain is the communicator for me. The green brain, that's the insect life. Wow, how many people think about insects intelligently? Thank you, great creator, for pineapple. I'm as close to heaven here in the suburbs of Delta as I'm ever likely to be. And all I can say is I pray for the souls of all those who have gone before, and all those who are to come, and for all those who know that they're carrying fault and blame and sin in their lives. And sin, after all, is just missing the mark. It means you were not in touch with God when you were doing what you were doing. You've forgotten God, the grand order divine. You've forgotten the spirit of goodness. You've forgotten love and harmony. And you were cruel. And too bad, I'm sorry. However, you can win your way back. No fear is the way to start. Then the prohibition is the other. If you don't do the herb, and if you don't do pineapple, in conjunction with the herb, I recommend you do it. I gotta go and get my lighter.